If I've been asked it once, I've been asked it 1,000 times. I'm a senior, but I'm not that kind of senior. Which cruise line is right for me? So let's see what I can put together here with my 7 top cruise tips for over 55 active travelers. My name's Andrew, and welcome back once again to Tidal Horizons, where your go-to source on YouTube for straight-up cruise advice, news, and information. Let's get started. As a travel agent, a son, and a parent, the question of what cruise line is right for me is a frequent one, and there's no right or wrong answers, just a whole bunch of generalizations. Recently, I had someone I've known for many years come in and start looking at Alaska cruises for a group of friends. All of them are over 55, which in cruise terms makes you a senior. While she wasn't terribly impressed by that label, it did get me thinking about laying out what I know works best for those 55 and older who consider themselves active junior seniors. First, I'm going to say up front that I detest the generational labels that get thrown around these days with the boomers and the millennials and Gen Z, so we're not really going to talk about it beyond this section of the video. One remarkable area of growth that I'm seeing right now in the cruise industry is travel with the baby boomer parents and the Generation X children who are in themselves now empty nesters. Some of those Gen Xers are now considered seniors themselves. Major cruise lines that have traditionally targeted seniors as their ideal demographics, such as Princess Cruises, Holland America, and to a degree Celebrity Cruises, are now starting to shift to multi-generational focus. That focus shift hasn't been a welcome one for everyone who cruises with those lines. There was a surprising amount of outcry when Princess announced the Park 19 concept on Sun Princess with a ropes course and other attractions aimed at younger generations. You'll notice that we don't do a lot of coverage here on the channel about Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, or MSC. These don't appeal to me in the same way. There are too many families, they are too overstimulating, and I don't find their itineraries as compelling as other cruise lines. That's not to say I never go on them. Of course I do because I have younger children, but they are just as happy on a Princess cruise as a Royal, and that's just the way they've been brought up. So where does that leave us for the remainder of this video? Well, we're going to concentrate on what cruise lines you can use and some tips on how to seek out cruises that are best for active 55 plus adults with minimal to no children on board. You'll need to establish an idea of what's important on board a ship before you make your selection. Let's start with the dress code and style of ship. Are you a traditional cruiser who's looking for black tie formal nights a couple of times during the cruise and plenty of the traditional activities on board like trivia, dance lessons, lectures, and deck games? We're not talking about luxury here because many of the luxury lines have moved away from these things. When I see requirements like this, I'm thinking Cunard, Holland America, and Oceania. Or are you looking for less traditional but possibly still having a formal night or no formal nights at all? I found Princess leaning more this way, much to the disappointment of some guests that frequent the line. Of course, there are cruise lines like Virgin Voyages, Celebrity, Windstar, and Viking Ocean as well. What about features on board the ship? Is a casino important to you? Smaller ships may have a small casino or nothing at all. When it comes to pools, do you need a variety to choose from? For example, the new Silver Nova and Silver Ray from Silversea only have one large pool, where Explora Journeys has several options, which is nice depending on the time of day and what you're in the mood for. What are your technology requirements? Most ships now have excellent internet connections, but if it's not something you're going to use, see if it's included in the price of the cruise or if it's an add-on. Why pay for it if you don't need it? Does the ship need a good app to do your ordering, open your room, show the schedule? Princess has fantastic technology, but is it overkill for your needs? An internet package isn't required for app usage, generally speaking. You, along with your travel consultant, need to do some research on your needs and wants before settling on a ship that works for you. They are all different, each with their pros and cons. Take your time, this is very important. A great source for you to start researching is right here on the Tidal Horizons channel. Give this video a thumbs up and click subscribe so you'll be notified when new videos are released. If you don't like all the misleading pictures, titles, and descriptions or the talking head personalities on other channels, we're your source for real cruise news, reviews, and information. Timing is everything when it comes to cruising. Not only will it potentially save you money, like we've talked about in the video linked above, but you're going to get vastly different people on board during certain times of the year and on certain voyages. These again are generalizations, but for the most part, good guidelines to follow. Have a look at the calendar and plan to travel when school isn't on vacation or when there aren't major holidays. Of course, there will always be parents who will take their kids out of school for a trip, but far fewer. The other thing I look for is longer cruises that are more than 10 days in length, usually something in the 16-day plus range. It would be very rare to get families or young people on a longer cruise like this because of work and school commitments. Exotic voyages or repositioning cruises are also good because airfare is expensive for more than one or two people, and the complexity of it not being round trip back to the original port often keeps the first-time cruisers at bay. These tips and tricks will work for your premium cruise lines like Celebrity, Cunard, Holland America, and Princess. But what about Disney Cruise Line? Surely that's for kids and should be avoided at all costs, right? Well, if you want absolutely no kids and families on board, then yes. But you're going to be doing yourself a disservice. Disney has some excellent adult-only areas and superb passenger services, along with their fantastic specialty dining. My experience at their Remy restaurant a few years ago was a highlight of any restaurant experience I've ever had. Stick to the same idea, avoid school breaks, holidays, and look at their repositioning and one-off cruises. You won't be disappointed. Let's circle back on a few of the cruise lines that we may have discounted earlier for a moment. It's possible that over the years you built up a loyalty to MSC, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, or Princess, right? But if they're not maturing in the same pace that you are, what do? I would have a serious look at their ship-within-a-ship concepts to see if the exclusivity that you get with those cruise lines might meet your needs. Of course, I'm still going to recommend sailing off-peak times when there aren't holidays and school vacation times. But have a look at Princess Cruises' Sanctuary Collection on board Sun Princess and Star Princess. This is a new feature for them, launching on their two newest ships, but almost certainly going to be expanded. MSC has the Yacht Club, Norwegian has the Haven, and Royal Caribbean has the Royal Suite class, and finally, Celebrity Cruises has the Retreat. All of these have exclusive restaurants, are generally all-inclusive like a luxury cruise line, and have private adult-only areas to relax in. While it's not impossible that families and children will be part of the ship within a ship, it's less likely. You'll have a more inclusive, more luxurious voyage, even without stepping away from the more mass-market cruise lines. This is certainly a video within itself, but feel free to reach out to me through the contact information in the description for more information. One complaint I hear over and over again from active senior cruisers is that the activities that the ship offers don't cater to them properly. Too many bus trips and scenic tours. This obviously varies from cruise line to cruise line and on your destination. In Europe, yes, it's going to be based more around history, art, and culture, so those kinds of tours are to be expected, but should not be exclusive. Working with a travel advisor who actively travels helps a lot. They can help arrange private tours with reputable companies that guarantee your return to the ship. Low impact but high excitement activities like bike tours, sea kayaking, fishing, swimming, and if you're certified, scuba diving are all within your reach. Same with motorsport tours like ATV and side-by-sides depending on your destination. The key is to research. Do it early, do it often, and understand what a port is known for. Then look outside the top results on Google. Plan excursions early and consider getting involved in the roll call boards on cruise credit for your particular cruise. Fellow passengers are always looking for others to join private tours, plus it's a great way to meet people. Activities on board the ship can be more difficult. If I'm going on a new ship, I use Google Images to look for daily programs or ask on Cruise Critic if someone on board the ship can share. This really helps me see what to expect on board. Preparation for your cruise is key, and what I find with some of my more seasoned clients is that they can get a little complacent when it comes to the prep, especially if they're thinking about multiple cruises. Developing a personal checklist of the items that you need to bring with you for a particular type of voyage helps a lot. What did you bring last time that you didn't need? what do you need in case of an emergency? Big items for me that I want to make sure come with me include extra prescription medication along with my actual prescription and making sure that it's all contained in a bottle with the correct name on it. Travel insurance that includes emergency medical insurance that is specific to cruise so that I know if I need a medical evacuation, I can get it. I always bring along a proper first aid kit that includes the over-the-counter medications and remedies that I know and trust. It's usually over $200 to visit the ship's doctor, and really, do you want to shop in a foreign pharmacies for products that you have no idea about? And of course, book your flight to your embarkation port at least the day before. Why have the stress of arriving the day of departure? For my final tip for you, I pose the question eventually to all my clients. Is it time that you move away from the big cruise lines and start looking more at the small ship luxury cruise lines? When you consider how all-inclusive some of them are, the level of service, and that they are really set up for couples or solo travelers rather than families, one might be a good fit for you. There are a wide variety of choices from Silversea with its numerous small ships and expedition vessels to the more recent startup Explora Journeys. A travel agent who knows the various brands can tailor something to your needs and point you in the right direction. There are more small ship brands now than there have ever been, and growth in the cruise industry is really coming from these brands more than anywhere else. Yes, it may be more money than you're accustomed to spending, but once you experience real luxury cruising, it may be difficult to go back. You've worked hard to get where you are, so enjoy it. I hope these few tips and ideas for having a more relaxed yet active senior cruise gave you a few ideas on changes you can make. I do work with a limited number of clients from the United States and Canada. Feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the description of this video. For more cruising news, reviews, tours, please make sure you hit like and subscribe to the channel so you're notified of the latest. Until next time, thanks for watching.